So, hello everybody. Another, I hope, shorter episode. So what I wanted to show is how I am calibrating my tension meter. This is the TC one from ZTTO. It's about 20 euros on, I think I bought it off of Amazon. I think you can even get it cheaper on AliExpress. Anyway, this thing comes with a table, like all those sorts of tension meters, which allow you to look up your spoke, and you can look at, I don't know, what is this, the material. You can have steel, you can have steel bladed, you can have steel round, there's even aluminum in here, and but it's limited. And honestly, I don't really trust this, because this is a copy from the Park tool, I think TM1 it is called. Therefore this is called the TC1, because it's a copy. And so I built myself a rig, which I found a couple of images of, and a couple of ways how to build this. And well, found out that you can build this thing by using a crane scale. This one, which I think cost me about 35 euros on Amazon, or 30 euros on Amazon, and a few parts from Home Depot, like these screws where you can hold the crane scale. These are just a few metal things that you can find in the Home Depot, and a couple of screws. And in here I have fixed the spoke, and the spoke threads are here in this nipple. It's a brass nipple to avoid corrosion. Anyway, if you don't know exactly which kind of spoke you have, and you want to figure out how to measure how much tension it actually has, you can put it in here and you can measure it. I'm going to turn on the scale. So it's going to show some weight, obviously, which is right now 0 because this thing is loose. And now I'm going to start tensioning it up. So these things I found in a video from Mapdeck. Great guy, highly professional, awesome tools, everything is brilliant. But I work out of my kitchen, and I'm not gonna spend a load of money on a device how to measure and calibrate the tension meter. So I'm gonna do it this way. What I usually do is I start off with somewhere around 60, right now it's 65 kilogram of tension. What I also do, I'm just going to use this stack of spokes to lift this up so that the scale does not touch the table, just to be safe it does not get a wrong reading. So right now it's 73.75 kilos, which is fine as an example right now. And then you can actually find, maybe it's even readable from there, I don't know. So I can put the tension meter here, and I can see this is a reading of 10, pretty much exactly. Now, since this thing is made of wood, you can also already see that this has lost some tension, and this needs to settle down, so I'm just gonna stress it a little bit. The scale, I think, goes up to 250 kilos, so you don't have to worry that you're gonna break it. So now it has lost a lot of tension, but once it's settled down, it's pretty safe. So let's tension it up again. Yeah, 70. I think what I use as a tension to start building wheels is, I think, working tension. I found somebody saying it's around 85. Anyway, so I'm just gonna go ahead and set this to, I don't know, some value of 70. It's a bit tedious because this is a metric threaded screw, and they are not as fine as the super expensive tools that you can buy to do this. You can watch videos where people are testing the tension for carbon spokes. So this has settled at 69.6, which is good enough. And I'm just gonna measure. So now 69.35. It is still losing a bit of tension, but I'm not concerned about that. It's not about the precise It doesn't have to be precise to 100 grams or anything like that. So I'm using this. This is a 9 now. So I'm usually taking noting this down. I know that let's say 70 kg is a 9. Well, my handwriting is awful. And then you can work your way up. And this thing has proved to be able to hold the 130 kilos. Now I'm at 91. Let's stress it a little bit so that it will. I think the wood is giving in because I used washers which are too small, and I should probably use bigger washers. Well, this is fine. It's still working, and 90 kilos is a good measurement that you probably want to have. So I'll wrench this up to 90.4. Brilliant. Losing a bit of tension, but not much. And you can simply write this down as, here we go, that's a 12. And then you can find a few fixed points that you need. Like for instance, if you say you have a working tension where you can still dish the deal. I like to dish the wheel. I like to dish the wheel with a bit of a lower tension because I'm a bit scared of having not enough wiggle room later on. So I want it to be relatively close to a good, position in the center. And then I also want to have the vertical, is it the horizontal trueness of the wheel already close enough, because later on when the tension is very high, it's difficult to do that. So you should probably have that done before you, let's say you want to build a wheel with 130 kilograms of tension, which is quite normal these days with the carbon rims even. Then you might want to make some finer steps like 90, 100, 110, 120, 130, something like that. And then you can work your way up so that when you reach 120, your wheel is relatively true vertically, is true horizontally, and is dished all right, or it's dished good enough. I think like within a half a millimeter is, within a millimeter is actually good enough. Then you can later on work your way up to 130 kilograms, and you should be fine. So let's just move on, just to show that this thing does not just simply break. I'm just gonna go all the way to 130 kilograms because it's made of wood, and ideally, of course, you would make it out of aluminium. I've seen people building beautiful versions of this with aluminium stuff, aluminium bars, and it is truly beautiful to see. On the other hand, this is just good enough. So there we are. That's 130 kilos, and let's see what it says. Measure always in the center, in the middle of the spoke. This is now a 15. Lost a few grams, not much. If I measure it at the ends, still pretty much the same, but it is a 15. And then you know that when you true your wheel, that you see on this scale, which is a relative scale, and it depends on which spoke you're using. If you are at 15, you have 130 kilos. Overall cost and overall material, I might put it into the description, but let me just grab the phone and I can show you what we have here. It's some kind of a screw with this head with a sling. I don't know what you want to call it. English is not my native language. And then I have a big screw which allows me to hook in the crane scale. This is another connector so I can connect the rest of the pieces. This thing I actually did just bend using 2 pliers, and did that because I don't actually own a vise. I mean, seriously, I haven't found a vise that I can mount to my kitchen yet without my wife or any my family getting upset. So all in all cost, these woods I had laying around, so it cost me nothing. It's not much. This is a very light and cheap kind of construction wood, and the screws together, I don't know, 10-15 euros, and the scale did probably cost me, I think, around 30 euros. So all in all, considering that when you get a device that allows you to calibrate these tension meters, will cost you, I'm pretty sure, more than 10 times as much. So maybe you get inspired, and if you want to do some wheel building in your kitchen, this is one part that will help you to get things right. All right, thanks for watching, and like and subscribe, and maybe leave a comment. Bye bye.